2012 City Commission meeting to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mayor Angel?
Here.
Commissioner Crawford?
Here.
Commissioner Householder?
Here.
Commissioner Jennings?
Here.
Commissioner Shirley?
Here. Please stand if you can and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First item is the citizens forum. If anyone is here from the public that wants to speak on any item not on today's agenda, come on up to the podium. Seeing none, we'll move on to awards and proclamations.
Item 4.1, the month of March 2012 is Brain Injury Awareness Month in the city of Salina. Deb Wise will read the proclamation.
Come on up to the podium for us.
Hi, and thanks for having me. The proclamation of the City of Salina, Kansas says, whereas 1.7 million Americans sustain a traumatic brain injury, or TBI, each year, and whereas the traumatic brain injury is a contributing factor to a third of all injury-related deaths in the United States, and whereas these injuries are largely the result of motor vehicle crashes, falls, assaults, sporting-related injuries, or occupational injuries. And whereas traumatic brain injury is the signature injury of the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, presenting new challenges for members of the military and their families. And whereas an injury that happens in an instant can bring a lifetime of physical, cognitive, and behavior challenges. And whereas early, equal, and adequate access to care will greatly increase overall quality of life and will enable individuals to return to home, school, work, and community. And whereas family members, friends, and members of this community can play a central role in enhancing the lives of our citizens with traumatic brain injury. And whereas the Brain Injury Association of Kansas offers education and support to families and individuals with traumatic brain injury with community integration to live as independently as possible. And whereas March has been designated as Brain Injury Awareness Month to promote public awareness on the extent, causes, consequences, treatment, and prevention of traumatic brain injury. And now, therefore, that's you, I guess.
Thank you. Do you have any events planned for the month to commemorate or bring awareness to the injury?
The support group they have in Salina meets every third Tuesday of the month. And it's through OCCK, so people can always call them to find out the particulars. There's a professional conference in Overland Park on March 29th and 30th. And then on May 28th is the Amy Thompson Run, and it's the 25th anniversary this year of that event. And that's
Here in town, you said?
it's in Kansas City.
The run's in Kansas City also.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've been in it. It's a lot of people, and we need the funds, so it's a real good event. And then outside of Kansas, nationally, the Brain Injury Awareness Day was on March 21st at Capitol Hill. So it's really, it's become more than just somebody once in a while, you run across has it. Either you or somebody in your family or a good friend will be affected in your lifetime.
Thank you.
I was.
I have a signed copy of your proclamation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We don't have any public hearings and items scheduled for a certain time, so we're on to the consent agenda.
Item 6.1, approve the minutes of March 19th, 2012. Item 6.2, authorize the purchase of 4 additional traffic video detection systems from Gady Sales Company in the amount of $33,600. Item 6.3, resolution number 12-6889, authorizing a water purchase agreement with Saline County Rural Water District Number 3.
Does anyone want to remove any of the items from the consent agenda? Is there a motion to approve?
Mayor, I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 5-0. We do not have development business, so we're on to administration.
Item 8.1, second reading, ordinance number 12-10631, amending Chapter 42, Article 6 of the Salina Code by adding Division 10.2, creating a public use district.
Ordinance 12-10631 was passed on first reading on March 19th, 2012. Since that time, no comments have been received. Is there any public comment on this today? Seeing none, I'll bring it to the commission for action.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 12-10631 on second reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance 12-10631 on second reading. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Crawford,
Aye.
Commissioner Householder,
Aye.
Commissioner Jennings,
Aye.
Commissioner Shirley,
Aye.
Mayor Angel.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Item 8.2, second reading, ordinance number 12-10632, annexing a portion of East Magnolia right-of-way west of the flood control levee.
Ordinance 12-10632 was passed on first reading on March 19th, 2012. Since that time, no comments have been received. Is there any public comment on this today? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission for action.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve on second reading ordinance number 12-10632.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance 12-10632 on second reading. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Crawford,
Aye.
Commissioner Householder,
Aye.
Commissioner Jennings,
Aye.
Commissioner Shirley,
Aye.
Mayor Angel.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Other business?
I see Ms. Norland's here again today, and I'd want to I'm sure I know the questions they want to know, and that is, where are we at on this? I think last week you'd had questions about,
Commissioner, I'm sorry, I skipped ahead. We're administration item 8.3.
okay, sorry.
Mayor, at this point in time, I'd like to make a motion that we move into executive session for 45 minutes to discuss with legal counsel matters subject to the attorney-client privilege for reasons that public discussion of those matters would waive the privilege and adversely affect the city's interest in those matters, and reconvene here at 4:55 p.m.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we recess into executive session. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 5-0. We're in executive session. Do you anticipate any action?
We do not.